Black Canary is on a stakeout and radios Wildcat to see why he isn't there to help as they'd planned. He is in a Meta-Brawl fight, but does not let Black Canary know. Once the heist reaches a point where Black Canary can wait no longer, she engages the criminals. The night is dark, but it's action-packed, and you can definitely guarantee that. Boys, please welcome the red-hot diva Black Canary. Fine as ever, with her fighting ability and Canary Cry, easily defeats them after throwing many of them all over the warehouse. Soon after, a crook's laptop is heard broadcasting the results of the Meta-Brawl fight, with Wildcat proclaimed the winner. Black Canary is clearly stunned. What in the blue hell? Later, Green Arrow is training in the weight room of the Watchtower when Canary flirts and invites him to spar with her. She lulls him into thinking she is not a good fighter, and so tricks him into helping her with something outside of league business. Come on now, who can reject a fine woman like that? On a motorcycle ride there, Black Canary tells Green Arrow that she is trying to get Wildcat out of Meta-Brawl fights. Arrow presumes Canary and Wildcat have a romantic relationship, and his heart sinks. At Canary's request, Arrow purchases Meta-Brawl tickets from a scalper, which further upsets Arrow, leading him to think that Canary is only interested in his money. But the real steal is they are buying 2 tickets for $2,000. Daylight robbery, that is. The heroes sneak backstage and try to talk Wildcat out of fighting in Meta-Brawl, but he hears nothing of it. Wildcat says he's tired of being treated as a has-been and all cooped up in the Watchtower. Wildcat also expresses feelings of insecurities because he's one of the leaguers who doesn't have superpowers. It seems he is nicely manipulated by the manager. Canary is annoyed. Things start to get rather rough. Green Arrow tries to settle things but only gets scolded by Canary. Fed up, Green Arrow decides to leave and is shortly followed by Canary, seeing that they have failed to convince Wildcat to give up fighting. Canary continues to follow Arrow, where she learns of his belief in a romantic relationship between her and Wildcat. Canary explains to Arrow that she sees Wildcat as a mentor and second father, not a romantic interest. Finally learning the truth, Green Arrow agrees to continue helping Black Canary. They change into their hero suits right there in the hallway. Later that night, Wildcat's fight with Atomic Skull is interrupted by Green Arrow and Black Canary, who try to stop the fighting. And Roulette, the owner, is furious. Other supervillains step in and prepare to defeat the heroes. Torn, Wildcat eventually stands aside and allows the villains to advance on the heroes. Black Canary then proposes a different Meta-Brawl to Roulette, offering to fight Wildcat herself, with the stipulation that if she wins, Wildcat quits Meta-Brawl. But if Wildcat wins, she agrees to leave Wildcat and Meta-Brawl alone. Roulette knows a better main event when she hears it, and agrees. Roulette calls off the villains and announces the new fight to a cheering crowd. In the dressing room, Wildcat expresses his anger and refuses to fight Black Canary, knowing it's wrong to fight one of his own students. Roulette threatens him that if he loses or even goes easy on Wild Canary, then Wildcat will never fight in Meta-Brawl ever again, causing him to lash out in anger, punching the wall. The guy broke a cement wall just like that. Meanwhile, in Black Canary's dressing room, Green Arrow reveals his beliefs that she was only faking as she did back at the Watchtower when she was pretending to flirt with him. However, Black Canary states she wasn't faking earlier, but Green Arrow doesn't believe her. Canary reveals it isn't always a game to her, but Green Arrow asks her to prove it, telling her to look him in the eye and say so. Black Canary approaches him, but Green Arrow then activates a sleep gas arrow, leaving her unconscious. Roulette then arrives and discovers Black Canary's condition, but Green Arrow assures her she will still get her main event. Later at the arena, Roulette reveals to everyone regarding the change of plans, revealing that Green Arrow will be fighting Wildcat instead. Wildcat refuses to fight him, pointing out while Black Canary could handle him, Green Arrow can't as he isn't a fighter. Roulette doesn't care, and Wildcat again refuses, but after Green Arrow gives a few insults, Wildcat attacks him. Meanwhile, Black Canary wakes up in the dressing room and quickly discovers Green Arrow's plan and runs to the arena to stop him. Green Arrow is clearly overmatched, and Wildcat gives him a severe thrashing in the ring. Canary arrives and tries to intervene, but is held back by security. Canary pleads with Wildcat to stop, but he refuses, stating Arrow had it coming. Continuing the fight, Green Arrow keeps giving insults to Wildcat, despite being beaten to a pulp, leaving him more injured and Wildcat angrier. Finally, Wildcat delivers a strong blow, knocking Green Arrow to the floor. Wildcat asks Arrow if he has finally had enough, but discovers he is not responding or moving. He checks Arrow, but finding he has no pulse, Green Arrow appears dead. The crowd is stunned into silence at first, but then erupts in cheers. Watching from outside the cage, Black Canary is horrified, while Roulette anticipates how much her fights will bring in now that they've become death matches. Wildcat, however, in shock over the death he caused, announces that he's out for good. After the arena has cleared out, Black Canary is seen later kneeling over the body of Green Arrow, revealing how stupid he was, but also admits in tears that what he did was very sweet, and gives him a kiss on the cheek while apologizing. However, Green Arrow reveals himself to be alive, revealing he used a stun arrow on himself to fake his death. Canary discovers Arrow's true plan. Arrow wonders if it works, and soon sees Wildcat standing over him and admits that it worked. However, as they are leaving, Roulette tries to provoke Wildcat, but Black Canary gets the last word by using her canary cry to destroy the Meta-Brawl arena. Back in the Watchtower, Green Arrow and Black Canary are with Wildcat as he prepares to sit with Jean Jones to help him sort out his need to be in Meta-Brawl. Green Arrow then invites Black Canary out for some coffee, and she's buying. No more Mr. Nice Guy. A few weeks later, in a distant place, after taking down 2 security guards, Huntress infiltrates Stephen Mandragora's high-security mansion. She sneaks into his bedroom and empties her crossbow into the bed, but she is shocked to peel back the sheets and see a pile of artfully arranged pillows. Before she can do more, she is teleported up to the Watchtower, where she is confronted by an angry Jean Jones. He says she was ordered to stay away from Mandragora, while she is appalled to realize that the League is actually protecting him. Jean dismisses her from the League and orders her to clear out her quarters. He then asks Huntress to turn in her Justice League membership card, which she angrily did. Returning to her cabin, she comes across a muttering Question, engrossed in his obsessive search for a link between Lex Luthor and Project Cadmus. Using all the feminine wiles she can command, she offers Question a deal. He helps her find Mandragora, and she'll share what she knows about Cadmus. Question accepts. Mandragora, it turns out, is being kept in a safe house eating oysters by federal agents before appearing in court, as they expect him to testify against his criminal associates in exchange for leniency. Never seen someone gulping down oysters like that. A true freak show. The League has assigned Green Arrow and Black Canary to assist the agents. The task proves impossible, as Mandragora goes out of his way to be offensive. Before long, Green Arrow has to be restrained, though it is Canary who throws the punch that gets both of them expelled from the house.
How a lovely young lady like you ends up with a nobody like him. Were all the real men in the Justice League already taken?
Taking watch from a treehouse, Canary is annoyed that they have to go through so much trouble to protect a murderer. But Green Arrow admits, however, that the world isn't perfect. They both then share a moment together until they see Huntress and Question pull up outside. Forewarned by Jean, they bar the way. The couples then engage in a ferocious battle. Question is quickly dispatched by Green Arrow, whereas Huntress and Black Canary seem evenly matched, until Black Canary reveals she has been holding back. Black Canary then finishes Huntress off. At the same time, 2 of Mandragora's thugs arrive at the front door dressed as policemen, causing a diversion that allows Mandragora to overpower his captors and escape. As Canary argues with Huntress and Question over the ruins of the safe house, Arrow notices Question pick up something from the floor, a key to a locker at the train station. Arrow and Canary leave to pursue Mandragora, while Question reveals that the key was a decoy. The clue he picked up was a schedule of freighter arrivals at the local docks. However, Arrow was suspicious, and he and Canary wait to see Huntress and Question leave. En route to the docks, Question reveals that he knows full well that Huntress actually knows nothing about Cadmus, and also why she is so bent on revenge. Her father, Franco Bertinelli, was a powerful mob boss. When Huntress was only a child, Mandragora, Franco's chief enforcer, took over the gang, killing Huntress's parents while she watched from a hiding place. Blinking back tears, Huntress asks Question why he is helping her perform what he knows will be a revenge killing. He doesn't answer, but instead notices that Canary and Arrow were following them on a motorcycle. Question manages to lose them in a railway tunnel, but the 2 couples still reach the docks at the same time. Arrow and Canary try to overpower Mandragora, but he is too strong for them. Huntress aims her crossbow at him, and he surrenders. He's expecting to be returned to custody, but Huntress says that's not what she has planned. She is about to execute him when a small boy runs to Mandragora from an arriving ship, shouting, "Papa!" Mandragora hugs his son, explaining that the boy was kidnapped by a rival gang and he has only now managed to rescue him. He never intended to cooperate with the federal authorities, but instead was just stalling until the boy was rescued. Then they would both disappear and take on new identities. Huntress saw that the man who killed her parents was now a loving father. Question leaves the choice to Huntress, and she makes the right one. She turns her crossbow up and drops a heavy crane load onto Mandragora, knocking him unconscious. He is returned to federal custody, now left with no choice but to cooperate, while his son is likewise taken into protective custody. That was big of her to do that after everything she went through. Huntress realizes that Question knew all along what Mandragora's plan was, and that his son would be arriving. She asks why then he would go to such trouble to help her find him, including risking his own life. Sheepishly, Question admits it was for an entirely foolish and inconsequential reason. He likes her. Surprised at first, but swept away, Huntress grabs him and plants a big kiss on his face, then drags him away by his tie to someplace more private for some wild ride, while Black Canary, who was watching, says, "I'm sorry, but ew." Terry McGinnis, the young Batman, is hovering in his Batmobile while practicing history questions for the upcoming exam with Max. Just then, lightning strikes another hovercar with a family on board, and Batman readily responds to the emergency. He hooks the car to the Batmobile and escorts it to safety. The family thanks him and walks out, but feels something fishy with the little girl who glances back at Terry. The next day at their high school, Terry and Max sit for the history exam on their computers, but Terry keeps getting called out by the little girl as she appears to him at the exam hall. It's just him who sees her, and he is totally turned over by now. Later, Terry explains everything to Bruce Wayne in the Batcave, and Bruce believes him. Just then, she appears to Terry again, and although Bruce doesn't see her, the dog senses her presence. Terry speaks with her to get more information and gets some clues on where she is staying with her parents. They get cut off when her father gets mad at her, but Bruce Wayne finds out it's the Gotham Park Tower. That night, Terry goes to dine in at the Park Tower with Max, and he doesn't fail to mention how hot Max is in her dress. He sees the woman who accompanied the little girl meet another weird man and ask the reception for any messages mentioning their room number. Terry gets to work as he enters their suite from the outside and readily inspects the place, but unfortunately, he gets found out. The man who accompanied the girl comes at him with exceptional force, and Terry has to do his level best to evade his thunderous punches. Terry manages to send the man hurling into the glass windows as he plunges 100 feet down on the ground like an earthquake. As people gather to see, the man gets up, stares at Terry, and just walks away. Back at the Batcave, Bruce connects Terry's brain to sensor device as they sweep through missing kids' pictures on the internet. They soon hit the jackpot as Terry confirmed the little girl he saw and they get her original details. Terry goes to the mentioned address at a run-down apartment complex and sneaks into the kid's room from the window. He runs into her heartbroken parents as they have been cheated and misled by a group who have promised her special education and kidnapped her. Terry gets the school location and reaches almost abandoned school premises and updates Bruce about it. Terry finds an old man meditating at a room and recognizes him as the same man from the hotel lobby, in which the woman met with. This old fellow is no ordinary man, as he uses his powerful mind to levitate in the air and strike Terry's mind, creating a world of hurt. Terry is lost in a clouded, painful world created by the old man, as he uses his mind power to physically assault Terry at the same time. Terry doesn't have any information about this old man, but in reality, he is Edgar Mandragora, the son of Stephen Mandragora, whom the Justice League took down a couple of decades ago. However, Terry is no ordinary man himself. He is the student of Bruce Wayne, and he wisely uses his cape to focus and break the illusions. Terry focuses on the old man and delivers a couple of blows which rattles him, and goes on to subdue the old man after knocking him out. Terry comes home afterwards and talks to Max on the phone while she does her makeup. Soon after, the little girl Tamara appears to Terry, and he asks her to show her location. She shows Gotham Harbor Dock 7 to him as she is kept in a boat. Terry springs into action and reaches the harbor and goes into cloaking mode in his suit. He hears the conversations inside the room between Tamara and the lady and sneaks inside as soon as the lady leaves. Tamara is overjoyed to see Batman saving her, and they try to sneak out but get caught by the man. Batman punches him away only to meet with the exploding powers of the bombshell lady. She hits him bad, but Terry wisely put the man in front of her explosions and takes him out. Surprisingly, it is Tamara who comes to his aid as she creates a giant illusion over the bombshell lady, scaring her to death, and Terry delivers the final blow to her. The man sneaks back on Terry once more, and Tamara yet again saves the day when she blinds the man with her energy rays, and Terry is grateful for her. Who saved whom, right? Even Max is having a laugh about Tamara coming to save Terry. But at the end, Tamara is safe and sound. Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.